All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace and blessing to the elect of Israel out there following and practicing the law of liberty. All right, so today we're going to be reading in the book Baal and the Dragon. Baal and the Dragon. Now, this book is pretty much centered around the prophet Daniel. Now, we all know about Daniel. He's one of the main prophets in the Old Testament. One of the pretty powerful prophets. Nothing really bad was said about Daniel. He was a man after the Most High's heart, man. He really loved the Most High. He prayed continuously to the Most High. He devoted his life to Israel and the Most High. He was truly a man. He was truly a man of power and a man of integrity, impeccable integrity. Through immense pressure from Babylonian kings and captivity and everything, many times he was tried to worship the deities of the Persians and the Babylonian deities, and he never wavered. He always stayed on his square and always believed and trusted in the Most High. And he never devoured himself from his God, from his power. He never turned away from the Most High through all kinds of trials and tribulations. You know, the word Daniel means God is my judge. You know, Daniel came from the tribe of Judah. He's from the line of David. He's in the line of David, the great King David. He was led captive to Babylon in his early years as a teenager. Pretty much lived out his whole life in Babylon. He was such a powerful person. The Most High really truly blessed Daniel with a whole lot of gifts, man. He had the gifts of prophecy. He had the gifts of interpreting dreams. He could read people. I mean, he just knew how to carry himself amongst the kings, so he was always in the king's court. Matter of fact, him and the three Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, were all friends, great friends. And the king, man, put them in a school, man, for 3 weeks, man, and they outshone all of the other students in the school. Where the king even one time said that they was 10 times more intelligent and more wise than all the other students. And that's the blessings of the Israelite blessing that the Most High shines on his people, man. We're truly a blessed people. We just don't know it, man. We have gifts. Well, you can see it, man. You can see it when you know, the way we would perform in athletics, you know, when we perform in any type of field or any type of endeavor, man, we really put our minds to, man. We excel. That's why they oppress us so much, man. We're unique people, man. We're gifted people, you know. But, you know, like they said, there's also a gift and a curse, man. We can also be some of the most most wickedest and evil people too at the same time, especially when we turn our backs on the Most High. But anyway, you know, getting back to this story, man. This is a story, Baal and the Dragon. This is a little small book. It's only one chapter out of the Apocrypha. We all know what the Apocrypha were. Those are the 14 books that we removed from the original 80 books that was in the Bible before they removed these 14 books. And as we grow wiser and grow more stronger in the Most High, and as we know who we are, we know we're Israelites, and we know that our power is the Most High Yahweh, and we see that in these 14 books they removed from the Bible, there's a lot of information in there that really tells us who we are, especially in the books of Ezra, especially Second Esdras. I always tell everybody, man, please read those books, man, especially Esdras, man. You know, you really gain a lot of insight of what's going on, especially in these days, these last days that we're in. Prophecy is fulfilling itself like daily, man. So this is the time, man, to really get your spirit right, man, and get in tune with the Yahweh and the Yahweh Shai, man. Get in the spirit, man. Every day, man, just try to walk in the spirit, because as you can see around you, everything is falling apart. This country is collapsing right before your eyes. Wickedness is prevailing everywhere. I mean, murder is up running amok. Crime is running amok. People are literally losing their minds, man. Every day, man. It's like mass killings and everything is happening, man. You know, all this wickedness is coming. But the Most High, in His words that were left by our forefathers, man, they said that this was happening. They knew that this was coming. And we're here. We're in it. So this is not the time to be playing, man. This is the time to really get your spirit right. But anyway, man, I don't want to make this video too long. So we're just going to get into reading. Like I said, this is a quick chapter, but it's very interesting because it really shows the faith that Daniel had in the Most High, and that he would not waver. He would not worship any other gods. He stayed true to the Most High. And that's what we need to do. So let's get into it. All right. And King Azagos was gathered to his fathers. He passed away. And Cyrus of Persia received his kingdom. And Daniel conversed with the king and was honored above all his friends. Now Babylon had idols called Baal, and there were spent upon him every day 12 great measures of fine flour, and 40 sheep, and 6 vessels of wine. And the king worshipped it, and went daily to adore it. But Daniel worshipped his own power. And the king said to him, Why dost not thou worship Baal? And Daniel who answered and said, Because I may not worship idols made with hands, but the living power, who has created the heavens and the earth, and hath sovereignty over all flesh. See? Then said the king unto him, Thinkest thou not that Baal is a living God? Seest thou not how much he eateth and drinketh every day? See, they was bringing food into him every day, and the king was misled, thinking that Baal was eating the food. The God, the idol, Baal, his God. Then Daniel smiled and said, O king, be not deceived, for this is but clay within and brass without, and did never eat or drink anything. So Daniel kind of making fun, said, Man, that thing ain't eating, man. Come on, man. I know you don't believe that. So the king was wroth, and called for his priests, and said unto them, If ye tell me not who this is that devoured these expenses, ye shall die. In other words, you need to tell me, man, is my God eating, or is somebody else is eating all this food and stuff that we leaving out for him? But if ye can certify me that Baal devoured them, then Daniel should die, for he has spoken blasphemy against Baal. And Daniel said unto the king, Let it be according to thy word. Now the priests of Baal, with 70 40 of them, beside their wives and children, and the king went with Daniel into the temple of Baal. So Baal's priests said, Lo, we go out, but thou, O king, set on the meat, and make ready the wine, and shut the door, and fasten and seal it with thy own signet. So they said, Yeah, go on in there, king, and set up the food and everything, and then when you leave, man, seal the door with your signet. So we'll know, man, if anybody gets in, that seal will be broken. And when the king seal uses signet, man, y'all better not break that seal. That's death. And tomorrow, when thou comest in, if thou findest not that Baal has eaten up all, we will suffer death, or else Daniel that speaketh falsely against us. And they little regard it, for under the table they had made a privy entrance, whereby they entered in continuously and consumed those things. So they had made a little trap door underneath the table, so they can enter in beneath, the temple. And so what they was doing is they was going in every night and having a party and eating up the food themselves. So when they were gone forth, the king set meats before Baal. Now Daniel had commanded his servants to bring ashes, and those that spewed throughout all the temple in the presence of the king alone. Then went they out, and shut the door, and sealed it in the king's signet, and so departed. So what Daniel did was, he spreaded ashes all over the floor of the temple. So when they put the food in and everything, all the ashes was on the floor of the temple. So that was smooth for Daniel to do that. So they all went out and they locked the door and they sealed it with the king's signet. Now in the night came the priests with their wives and children, as they were wont to do, and did eat and drink up all. So at nighttime they all went through the little private entrance they had, went in there, sat down, and started eating and drinking and just having a good time. And they thought they was good. So in the morning, bedtime, the king arose, and Daniel with him. And the king said, Daniel, are the seals whole? And he said, Yea, O king, they are whole. In other words, they are not broken. And as soon as he opened the door, the king looked upon the table and cried with a loud voice, Great art thou, O Baal. With thee is no deceit at all. Then laughed Daniel and held the king that he should not go in. He said, hold up, don't go in. And said, Behold, now the pavement and marks, well, whose footsteps are these? So he showed the footsteps that the ashes had left. They had left imprints all over the ashes, so they could see clearly that somebody had been in there walking around. And the king said, I see the footsteps of men, women, and children. And then the king was angry and took the priests with their wives and children, who showed him the private door. So he said, hold up. Come on, y'all. How y'all get up in here? I'm seeing all these footsteps and stuff, man, and the seal ain't broken, so there must be a way that y'all getting up in here. What's going on now? Come clean. So they showed him the door where they came in and consumed such things and were upon the table. Therefore the king slew them and delivered Baal unto Daniel's power, who destroyed him in the temple. So the king killed all of them. Killed all the priests, killed their wives, and killed their children. And he gave the statue to Daniel to destroy, and Daniel destroyed the statue. And in that same place, there was a great dragon, who they of Babylon worshipped. Now there was another statue of a deity, of a god that they worship. It was a dragon. And the king said unto Daniel, Wilt thou also say that this is of brass? Lo, he liveth, he eateth and drinketh. Thou cannot say that he is not living. He is not a living God. Therefore worship him. Then said Daniel unto the king, I will worship the Lord my power, for he is the living power. So Daniel will not be moved. See what I'm saying? He will not be moved. But give me leave, O king, and I shall slay this dragon without a sword or a staff. The king said, I give thee leave. All right, show me. Then Daniel took the pitch and fat and hair, and did seize them together, and made lumps thereof. This he put in the dragon's mouth. And so the dragon burst asunder into flames. And Daniel said, Lo, these are the gods you worship. He clowning the king right now. He just clowning him. When they of Babylon heard that, they took great indignation and conspired against the king, saying, The king has become a Jew. So they're saying, oh man, Daniel turning this king into an Israelite, a Jew. He said, man, he make a mockery of our statues and our idols. See what Daniel was doing, man, he was showing the king, look, man, you worshiping these idols and these stones. He probably been talking to the king all along, saying, you need to get with my power. He is the true power. These idols and these statues, they are nothing but made of man's hand. And see, all the priests and all these wicked priests, they didn't like that, because they know that if Daniel could convince the king of that they're going to be out of a job, man. You know, because that's how they got down. That's how they made their living, with all these old false idols and these statues and stuff, man. Got the king all tied up in this foolishness, man. So, but that's how they made their living, with all this stuff. So, the king is becoming a Jew, and he had destroyed Baal. He had slain the dragon, but the priest, and put the priest to death. So they came to the king and said, Deliver us Daniel, or else we will destroy thee in thy house. Now see, the king had a problem. He needed these priests and stuff because the people listened to him. And he realized that without them, man, he'll lose his kingdom. Because, hey, them priests and stuff was powerful back in them days, and he needed them to do his bidding. So he was kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. So now when the king saw that they pressed him sore, being constrained, he delivered Daniel unto them, who cast him into the lion's den, where he was there 6 days. And in the den there were 7 lions, and they had given them every day 2 carcasses and 2 sheep. And when they were not given to them, to the intent they might devour Daniel. So they normally would feed them, but they stopped feeding them, so they go ahead and eat Daniel. Now there was in Jerusalem a prophet called Habakkuk, who had made pottage, and had broken bread in a bowl, and was going into the field, for to bring it to the reapers. But the angel of the Lord said unto Habakkuk, Go, carry the dinner that thou hast into Babylon, unto Daniel, who is in the lion's den. And Habakkuk said, I never saw Babylon. Like, I ain't never been to Babylon. Neither do I know what a lion den is. He said, I don't even know what a den is. I ain't never been to Babylon. Then the angel of the Lord took him by the crown, and bare him by the hair of his head, and through the vehemency of the Spirit set him in Babylon over by the lion's den. And Habakkuk cried, saying, O Daniel, Daniel, take the dinner which the Most High hath sent thee. Then Daniel said, Thou hast remembered me, O power, neither hast thou forsaken them that seek thee and love thee. See, he stayed true to the Most High, and the Most High protected him. And he is doing that to us today. If we stay true to the Most High, you're an Israelite, and you believe in Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, and you faithfully pray to him every day in the spirit, man, he'll protect you, man, no matter what you're going through in these days. Because we are in the day, we're getting our power back. See, because we know who we are. He woke us up. See, people saying that ain't no miracles don't happen. That was back in the olden days. But think about it. As long as we've been in this country, we didn't know we was Israelites. They told us we was Negroes, we was colors, we was black, we was African Americans, we was spooks, we was Jake, we was everything. We was by bywords. They just labeled us anything they wanted to label us and told us anything. They told us our own history. That we were brought over here on slave ships. That we ain't nothing but slaves. We ain't nothing. This whole country, man. They didn't even want us to be a part of this country. We were just property and cattle to be used. Then all of a sudden, the Most High awakened us. And we know who we are. That's a miracle. We know that we are Israel. Think about that. All this time we've been sitting in this country wandering around thinking we was just Kunta Kinte slaves, African slaves, and that's all we was. But now we realize why we've been going through all this hell. That we are the children of the book. And that's why everybody hates us so much. We are the true vine. We are that cluster. We are the Most High's chosen people. Get that in your spirit right there. Think about that every day. We are the Most High's chosen people. Everything in this world revolves around us. Everything that's happening, everything you see is because of us. Because we have awakened. And I hate that, man. I hate that. Now all you hear every day is woke, 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 woke. It's like the devil, man, is taking that turn and turning it into something else. But the great awakening can't be stopped because it's already happened. We know we're Israelites. We know who we are. And now all this information is coming out about us. All these books, all this information, because all along they knew who we were. But the Most High has removed the veil from our eyes. Now we know who we are. That in itself is a miracle. Now the next step is we're getting our power back because we're calling on his name. See, think about it. Ain't nobody called on Yahweh in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years. Ain't nobody called on that name. Yeshua and this and all that other stuff. But nobody never called on Yahweh, his true name. He that is, he that exists, he that be. Yahweh. But we calling his name. That's power when you say that. We're taking our symbol back. Our symbol is not the cross. Our symbol is the menorah. We're taking that back. And when I wear a hat, man, I got a hat with a menorah on it, man. You should see how people look at me, man. They look at me, their eyes get big. They just look at me like in fear, man. Because they know when they see a black man walking around with a menorah on, it does something to them, man. They don't know what to do, but they know deep in their soul that, oh man, these jokers, man, they waking up to who they really are now. They know now. This game is over, man. It's over. It's over. That's why everything is happening in this world, man, because we have awakened to who we are, and we're praising out, we're calling out his name every day. And as much as we call out his name, things are getting worse for them. Everything is falling apart. So let me finish this up. And Daniel said, Thou hast remembered me, O God, neither hast thou forsaken them that seek thee and love thee. So Daniel arose and did eat, and the angel of the Lord set Habakkuk in his own place. Again, immediately took him back home. Upon the seventh day, the king went to bewail Daniel. And when he came to the den, he looked in, and behold, Daniel was sitting. Then cried the king with a loud voice, saying, Great art thou, power of Daniel, and there is none other beside thee. And he drew him out and cast those that were cause of his destruction into the den, and they were devoured in a moment before his face. So he took them that threw Daniel in the lion, and he took them and put them in there. And that was it. So anyway, that's it, man. That's Bel and the Dragon. It's a good little read. Like I said, it's in the Apocrypha. So if you get a chance, read it for yourself. It's only 42 verses, just one chapter. But anyway, I hope this was a blessing to you. May Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai bless you.